Hello and thank you all for watching. This is Manny Sunny Sun for an astrological report. We begin with Jupiter in the sign of Virgo. This will lift up the scale of human values. So, Jupiter leaves the sign of Leo and Virgo into that sector, and it will happen in August 11th, 2015. Um, 1:12 Greenwich Mean Time. There will and it will stay there until September 9th of 2016. And so, let's begin. Jupiter leaves this sign, and Jupiter is the planet of spiritual growth, knowledge, revelations. Traditionally has always been regarded as the planet of religion, higher philosophical ideals, priesthood, the law, people that study the law. So Jupiter is a very easygoing sign, planet, and it's happy to be relaxed. It's cheerful, enthusiastic, charismatic, generous. It also has theatrical character and has a very good sense of humor. The ability to communicate with laughter, generous, and makes others laugh. He thinks about these bigger ideas and does not let itself be absorbed by the little details and minor aspects. He it must see the tendency to exaggerate and to do too much of an excess, leading to all kinds of things like waste, mismanagement, or colossal blunders. His disregards of limit, particularly with Saturn, is in the low. It is particularly low vibratory aspect in this current theme that we're speaking of, and can lead to fraud and also indiscretions. So, Jupiter is a power that can dare us to go further, to do more, better, and faster. This makes us more capable of an advancing situations that get stuck, break records, explore new territories, and act as a pioneer, leaving the sign of Leo to fire fixed sign into Jupiter and Virgo will be more reasonable, more circumspect, more rigorous, methodical, and it will show some more humility and simplicity. Manifest less pretentious but less authority. Here, Jupiter and Virgo can increase a critical sense of very analytical, very perfectionist, fuzzy, but also anxious sign. Here, care should be taken, not to go overboard, but do not be too demanding of our own selves and about our own health, of our lifestyles, which would give a boring side to life. It is also possible that we do take care of ourselves, our body. And again, it will be also more importantly to not imagine or imaginary evils, to develop a hypochondriac side, somatization. Here in this earth sign, Jupiter can also amplify generosity of spirit, of service, initiatives that seek to help others, guide them, to advise them and counsel them. The mind will probably be more methodical, rigorous, lucid intelligence will, while still bringing it more in the finer qualities of novelties. So I will observe this chart that I just posted on this slide. Jupiter will be entering in Virgo, and Jupiter is framed on one side by the Sun and Venus retrograde in Leo, and secondly by Mercury in station in Virgo. One notes this sign of change occurs during the cycle of Venus demotion, but invites us to revisit our values, readjust over our own desires. But what really holds us core in our heart, our basic needs to go and get more authenticity, more loyalty with ourselves, but also with others. Venus retrograde goes back into the Sun. This new Venus inferior conjunction on August 15th separates from this conjunction a Jupiter square Saturn and applies a trine to Uranus. Again, exact August 19th. See my previous post on that exact position in the Venus conjunction over the year in this cycle. I will put it on the description below, so please watch that video. It separates from that conjunction with the Jupiter and the square with Saturn and Scorpio, and it's lively and it's ironed with it's lively on August 2nd with an exact square also happening on August 3rd. Mercury in Virgo applies the opposition over there to Neptune, exact on 13th of August, and it is a sesquiquadrate to Uranus. The Sun in Leo here makes a harmonious aspect that is being applied to Uranus, also exact on 13th of August. The Moon is in Cancer in this waning phase, in exact opposition to Pluto. Saturn is sesquiquadrate and separates from this trine to Neptune. Mars came into Leo on August 8th and separates from this trine with Saturn, which was true on August 6th, and we also note the absence of a sextile in the planet of an air sign, indicating that it may be quite difficult to be able to communicate deliberately, to exchange ideas, to share your point of view. There may be a lack of understanding, but also attempts to impose his ideas that are quite arbitrary, authoritative in a manner, without regard of the needs of the others, without trying to discuss. Mercury, in addition, the planet of communication, mind, communication and thought and mobility, establishing a link between these things and people, both in terms of material but also in a spiritual dimension, is this stretched appearance here, which can cause Neptune and Uranus, probably causing a lot of nervousness and confusion, misunderstandings thereof. So, since it is previous downgrading in the sign of Gemini, Mercury here, the messenger of the gods, it is more in time aspect with a square to Neptune during this long transit in Gemini. This trine here will make the same planet but in a conjunction with Mars in opposition to Pluto, and a square off to Uranus by mid-July during this transit in Cancer. And this is a tough one. This is quite a tough aspect. And we must understand what is being asked of us through these aspects, but also to achieve a disconnection from our mind, which is quite beneficial, to reconnect more with our inner emotions, feelings, intuition, and inspiration. Our own conscience will continue forever, and it is here to awaken us, to help us revise our mental conditionings, our beliefs, our dogmas. Do not limit ourselves with just what is known or what is logical and rational. We have the opportunity here to reconnect to that intelligence, but also intelligence of the heart, with our essence, with that vibration which is central to us. Within ourselves, we can let us dictate our own behavior. We can not let that dictate our own behavior on our way of being in our minds, often too narrow and too rigid, which prevents us to flourish, hindering our own personal evolution, and we take form into another, and to the essence that vibrates within us, with our own selves, that puts a hinder on that, and to others. So let us be a little bit more perceptive and develop more of a clairvoyance and intuitive part that is attentive to the signs of synchronicity, that life puts us in a path to guide us, lighten us. That is also of every square opposition aspect as of being observed in the chart, mounted at the entry of Jupiter in Virgo, associated of course with this trine aspect. So there's always a way to get out of a conflict, whether it be obstacles, challenges, or the way that this may arise. We may have within these personal resources or riches that are talented and can help us cope with these energies. Let us use our own creative power at this period in time. Saturn returns in Sagittarius and is in the home of Jupiter here on September 18th, 2015. And he will stay there for around December 20th, 2017. I also posted Saturn entering into the sign of Sagittarius between 2014 and 2017. It's in one of my videos. Go and see this video, please. So, the appearance of this waning square between these two social planets will happen again in 2015 and again 2016, and this time it's in the fashion of a mutable sign. Mutable represents adaptability, versatility, um, adaptation. So there's Jupiter square the Saturn with Jupiter in Virgo and Saturn in Sagittarius, March 23rd, uh, 4:24 Greenwich Mean Time, and 26th of May 2016 at 1:42 Greenwich Mean Time. This aspect of Saturn and Jupiter will also form an aspect off to Neptune. The Saturn square also descending 26th of November 2015 at 7 degrees, and the June 18th 2016 12 degrees, and September 10th 10 degrees. Jupiter opposition here September 17th of 2015 7 degrees. Jupiter demotion again, applying again the opposition off to Neptune here, April 2016 through June of 2016. Without it being exactly new, April of May of 2016 gives prudence, vigilance. Recommended also that to be observed in this period around April to May 2016. The formation of a mutable fashion here of a T-square between these three planets, Jupiter square off in opposition to Saturn in Sagittarius, makes a pesky T-square between these three planets. This is a period that could be very tense, where it would be very prudent to be extremely vigilant, as it is also corresponds to the phase of culmination of Mars downgrading cycle. For example, this Sun-Mars retrograde opposition that is most accurate on May 22nd, 2016, 1 degree Gemini Sun, Sagittarius, Mars in Sagittarius. This downshift happens with Mars 8 degrees Sagittarius, and on April 17th to 23 of April, this 3 degrees of Scorpio, 29 of June 2016. Mars will be closest to the Earth here, perihelion, and also forms a semi-square to Pluto. Itself is a Sun sesquisquadrate during this transit of Jupiter in Virgo will also form a supportive trine off to Pluto descending. October 11th here, 2015, 13 degrees again, and in March of 2016, on the 16th, 17 degrees, and on June 26th, 16 degrees. A growing quincunx, Uranus, November 5th, 2015, 17 degrees, and on March 6, 2016, 18 degrees, and on August 13th, 24 degrees. This phase of Jupiter demotion in the sign of Virgo. The entrance of this demotion zone, October 13th, 2015, it'll be there 23 degrees Virgo retrograde, and on January 18th, 2016, highlights the cycle of the Sun opposition off to Jupiter here, March 8th, 2016, 18 degrees direct motion Virgo. May 9th, 2016, the release of this demotion zone. August 7th, 2016, this transit and demotion of Jupiter and Virgo at, in my opinion, a period of change, of reorganization, and mutability is one of the key words, not only at the individual level, but also on the plane, especially for our collective economic and social system, our societal model here, but also our lifestyle, our cultural habits. The climate will remain unstable, anxious, certainly, and uncertainty, but also impatience and exasperation. It is also possible that amplified more the social revolts, unstable, anxiety, uh, uncertainty, but also rebelling the system, police is being in place, reproving this restrictive side of the law of morality. The state reforms must be also taken to restore this growth while preserving our social motto. While preserving our social motto, um, reducing inequalities by showing more equality. It is also very possible and probable that Europe, its structure, its functioning, its policy is badly shaking, and it is no longer conceivable here. The way it suffocates its people without giving them no chance of survival, applying inappropriate and economic policies here. Unfair to continue to let the banks get rich on the back of people suffering, imposing such ineligible interest rates, adjustments, trade policies, of questioning confrontations also being needed. Jupiter here in Virgo, in aspects forms during this transit, should draw more of our attention to critical details considering these above. That allows us better to analyze all these situations to avoid undue excitement and exaggeration or extravagance here. It can also give us the ability to be both enthusiastic, confident, moderation, rigor, discipline, pragmatism, but also show more of an innovative, more productive, more competitive, more attractive, but also more flexible. Here we will face a profound transformation of crisis that confronts us with resistance, breaking with the ideas, to raise more of our schemes into a crystallized mental form, to expand our awareness and our understanding that the changes and the outlook upon life and existence. The opportunity here is thus afforded us to convey the ideologies more of a social, more humane, more spiritual level. I will end this um, session to conclude and thank you all for watching. This has been the entrance of Jupiter into Virgo, exiting the sign of Leo August 11th, 2015, and it will stay there for around a year, a little more than a year. It ends on September 9th, 2016. And thank you all for watching. Please leave a comment, share, subscribe, and like this channel. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below saying where these planets are in your native chart, or if you'd like to book a consultation on these particular astrological planets, don't hesitate to email me at mannyspiritoflight2012 at yahoo.com. Thank you all for watching.